This is the soothing sounds of Brian's beard.
Oh God, it sounds like sounds like a Brillo pad.
Yeah.
God.
That's what you like.
It's been too long.
Thanks for listening to this podcast. Here's my beard. Do you ever want to know what a man's beard sounds like?
Why are you still doing it?
You're welcome. Off. Spin-off. Podcast.
Hi, I'm Shaheer.
And I'm Brian.
And this is Spin-off.
The podcast where we take popular or not popular show, any show really. We have very low standards at this point. And we pitch spin-offs of that show and tell them to you, the listener, who I think we have some of now. Yeah, which is cool. Thank you so much for listening.
You're a great help. We're one step away from being able to create that Patreon and get that sweet Squarespace sponsorship money.
No one's giving us money.
Hey, one can dream. You gotta have dreams. You gotta hope.
If you are listening, can you send me money? I won't give you my address or any way to send me the money.
Send it to Zoom.
But can you just...
02134.
I'm sorry, what?
Isn't that the Zoom zip code? 02134.
I don't know what that is.
You don't know what Zoom is?
Is that show with the kids doing science stuff?
Yeah. I mean, and like other stuff.
Did they ask for money?
Abby Dubby. No, you said questions and like riddles and shit like that.
Yeah, send me riddles.
Send it as... Just send me riddles. I just want a riddle in my P.O. box.
I better get a riddle. Email us at
spinoffthepodcast@gmail.com.
Yes, I really want a riddle. Please send a riddle.
I'm so confused as to what's happening right now. So today we're here with our first guest on the show.
Should we have a guest theme song?
No.
Like, this is a guest.
All right, now that's the
It's
theme
not a
song.
stranger. It is a guest. But still there's danger, because we don't know who it is.
But you just...
Except we do, but you don't. It could be a serial killer for all you know. It's a special guest.
All right, so if we have any musicians, can you please just take what Brian did and remix it so that we can have a guest theme song?
So our special guest today is none other than the well-known
You know him. You love him. You don't know him.
You may have walked by him once and thought, what's up with that guy? It's Erick Escobar!
Woo, clipping! Yeah!
Wow. Hey, thanks for having me on, guys. I'd just like to point out I'm not a serial killer.
Good.
Just to make that clear.
That answers our first question.
Why was that?
Because he introduced me as one.
No, that was just the theme song. Come on, you can't, don't take the theme
So you
song
assume all your
seriously.
guests are serial killers?
I mean, I'm just saying it's a
there could be
possibility.
danger.
You never know.
All right.
So they don't know who you are. They don't know who we are. They probably do.
It's now they find out that I've murdered several people. I probably should not say that on the podcast.
So they make an episode of Serial based off our confessions on this podcast.
I mean, I'm not saying where the bodies are.
You know how many re-downloads you get?
So, Eric, would you like to say a little bit about yourself to our guests, to our listeners, not our guests? You guys aren't in here right now.
We have to introduce the 12 other people that are in the room right now.
Spinoff is recorded in front of a live studio audience. Eric, so you don't want to say anything about yourself? Just tell us a little about yourself.
Okay.
What are your likes, your dislikes, your hobbies?
I like movies. I like TV shows. I like your podcast. It's very
sweet.
fun and interesting.
Thank you. For someone who's never listened to it, I appreciate that.
I've never listened to it through download. I've listened to it live.
No. The first thing you said before we mic'd you was, I have not listened to this podcast.
I've heard it while you record it.
That's technically
I've
listening
passively
to it.
listened to you guys speaking in the background as I
While
play
I'm in the
video games.
room. That's still listening.
Okay, I guess.
In this case, Eric is a guest judge. So along with the listener, we actually have voting set up.
Yeah.
So go to tangentcreates.com/spinoff. And under each episode, there is a poll so you can vote for your favorite pitch. So yeah, are we ever going to cut those?
Like
cut
the
voting
deadlines?
off? Yeah.
I was just going to delete the post, but I guess I could also just end the poll.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're open for now, so vote for all of them. Vote for this one. If they're closed, just yell your pick into the wind, and it'll get to us. Don't worry. But in this case, on top of the poll voting, our guest Erick is going to vote for his favorite at the end. His vote does not matter
At all.
It's
The fact that he's here is basically like a service to him.
Yeah, he just really wanted to be on this podcast, so we're allowing it. It's like his Make-A-Wish.
See, instead of making fun of you guys for listening to us, we're making fun of our guests for actually being here at all.
We just don't understand why other people like us.
At all?
Wait, this is Make-A-Wish? Is there something you haven't told me?
Oh shit, you didn't tell him.
Damn it.
I would have picked a different wish.
So anyway.
Yeah, so the show that we are spinning off this week is none other than the NBC hit show Heroes.
It's fair to say it was only a hit show for the first 2 seasons.
Maybe like the first couple episodes. It was a network TV event. No,
Yeah.
Not network TV. Wait, what are the main channels called? Is that network TV?
I think it's network, yeah, right? Isn't it?
Yeah, the four?
Yeah.
Network
TV.
Yeah, network
NBC,
TV.
CBS.
And then the other ones are cable TV.
Yeah.
Network.
So yeah, it was a network TV event.
Because
The first
those are
episode
free
of
channels.
Heroes, yeah.
I just want to say, when Heroes came out, it was literally my favorite show of all time.
Mine too.
I fucking loved Heroes. Yeah.
September 25th, 2006. Heroes is an American science fiction television drama series created by Tim Kring that appeared on NBC for 4 seasons from September 25th, 2006 through February 8th, 2010. The series tells the story of ordinary people who discover that they had superhuman abilities and how these abilities take effect in the characters' lives as they work together to prevent catastrophic events and catastrophic futures.
And there's also a school that is taught by Professor Xavier.
Yeah. So that was the funny thing about doing this episode is
All your pitch ideas were just X-Men.
yeah, I was like I could just pitch The Gifted and boom, that's the show. I could pitch Legion.
And then Jean Grey turns into the Phoenix.
All right, so you said it was your favorite show like when it first came out. What did you really like about it?
I like people with superpowers. I think it's fun.
So is it safe to say your second favorite show was No Ordinary People? Or No Ordinary Family?
I don't even know what that is. Oh, no, that was terrible.
That's the one with Michael Chiklis?
Yeah. What, with Michael Chiklis?
Oh my god.
Do you remember the original promotion for Heroes?
No.
They had the globe, but originally it was just like lines of dialogue from the characters. And there's the first one where he's just like, my foot hovered for a minute before I got out of bed. It just hovered. And I was like, that sounds like a great show. It could just be an hour of him hovering over a bed. It's like, this is the show for me.
It hovers.
Once again, this show technically has a spinoff. I guess it's more of a reboot than a
Yeah, I don't know
spinoff.
if we could call it a spinoff.
It's Heroes Reborn came out.
Yeah.
So if you don't know, the popular perception of Heroes is it just gets worse and worse after the first season, which I can't really deny. I did enjoy the second season. I do feel like it fell victim to the writer's strike. So it was only half a season. And then the show kind of just went in interesting directions. But after it got canceled, they started Heroes Reborn, which was supposed to reboot the show. Originally, it was going to have very little connection to the original characters, and then they decided that ratings would probably be better if they had some of the original characters, so they started bringing a bunch of original characters on. And I watched 2 episodes and just did not continue watching Heroes Reborn. So if any of these things sound like Heroes Reborn, it's completely coincidental.
I'm actually pitching Heroes Reborn. My whole pitch is just me going to the Heroes Reborn Wikipedia page and reading the plot.
There was also going to be an actual spin-off of Heroes that is still going on called Heroes Origins, I believe, which was going to be an episodic show where each episode was just going to be like a different person with powers. So it was going to be Twilight Zone with superheroes.
Oh man, they should make that.
Yeah, it'd be cool. And that's when they started pitching Heroes Reborn. That's what it sounded like it was going to be. So I was all on board. And then they didn't do that.
I really liked Heroes. I think it gets a bad rap.
You like past season 2?
They tried some creative things and tried to go a different direction. Yes, it didn't work for the majority of people, but I liked it at least like 80 to 90%.
My main problem with it was just that it felt like they had a lot of ideas and they were just like, all right, let's just do all of them. I don't care if they conflict with one another. We're doing all of them. Siler's Peter's brother. Now he's not, but he might be, but no, he's not. Like that's all of past season 2. It's just them being like, this is going to be a big plot point. No.
I thought they might be going in a different direction when they tried to do that whole just villains part, where they created a whole syndicate like a small villains.
Yeah, but then they completely dropped that.
Yeah.
No, it definitely had some interesting things. Like they were definitely trying to do things that were interesting plot points, and then they just abandoned them completely and didn't continue or like mucked them up. I will admit, I felt like it was 4 seasons total.
Yeah.
I feel like the end of the 4th season, when they were doing the whole like circus thing, it felt like they were finally kind of getting into a concealed story.
You know
and
what?
that got canceled.
You know what ruined the entire series? Too much like being directed by like time travel and fate and what you're supposed to do and what your ultimate outcome is going to be. It's like, they kept saying like, we're going to time travel and do this. Because there was always that one thing, it's like, your future is already set. You have to get to this point, or you have to avoid that point. And that always, like, confused me. It's like, I want to be in the present. I don't care about whatever you're telling me about the future.
Well, you're going to hate my pitch then.
No. But for that one, because they were doing too much, like you said. Like, I couldn't, like, keep track of it. It's like, you want me to keep this in the back of my mind where everything else is going on.
I also feel like they kind of built up things in the first season that were hard to like continue. Because I heard, I don't know how true this is, but I heard that originally, like after the first season, they were just going to go to a different group of people and like tell a story for those group of people with powers. Mm-hmm. And so I feel like after the first season, they kind of like built up this thing. It was hard to continue. There's a point where like Peter loses his powers.
Okay.
And then he kind of gets them back.
Everybody loses their powers in all superhero shit.
Right.
Except Batman because he doesn't have powers.
Right. But here's the thing. He loses his powers and then he kind of gets them back, but he can only use one power at a time. He has to touch someone in order to gain their power.
Wasn't that always his power?
No. His powers were just anytime he like was near someone, he just got their power and kept it forever, which put him on the track to be like just an unstoppable, powerful character.
So he was Superman in the heroes world.
But he's like, he could be bigger than Superman because he could just absorb everyone's powers.
The problem with Superman is that they just kept giving him more and more powers over the run of his Silver Age press. And then they were just like, oh man,
but they never increased his weaknesses.
We made him way too powerful. So then after Crisis on Infinite Earths, they scaled it back so that he had less powers.
So I'm just going to say ahead of time, if you have not watched Heroes, I'm sorry, you're going to be very lost throughout this podcast.
I'm already lost and I'm pitching a show.
But in terms of here, I'd like to say it was very original for its time, not based off original material like a comic or a book.
We just said it's technically X-Men.
Yeah.
The plot. But it did come out before the whole superhero TV and movie trend really picked up. So it was kind of the first, hey, these are normal people with powers. There wasn't really much like that.
Yeah.
Because I remember one of the pitches was they're not wearing spandex. Like that was a big selling point, was they're not they're not in costumes. They're just regular people.
They're
And
just
so there
ordinary people.
Yeah, there weren't really shows like that at that point. Now I don't. That's when. So when Heroes Reborn came out, it felt weird because now there's so much like this. It kind of just blends in with everything else now.
I mean, if Heroes came out now, it would probably fail.
Yeah,
There's so much other stuff better.
It would just seem so unoriginal. I mean, it was barely original when it came out, but now it would be even more so.
There were things that made it interesting when it came out, like Claire on the operating table in the morgue.
Right.
Like there are certain pieces in the show that like were original at the time. So I don't know if they would have been done like if Heroes didn't exist. So it could be original.
Yeah, no, it definitely did things that hadn't been done. But I'm just saying the general people with power premise isn't an original concept.
Yeah, there's superheroes.
Right.
That hasn't been an original concept since the 30s.
Well, yeah. But no, you're right. They definitely did.
Jesus had powers.
You could say Jesus was like the first superhero.
I'm not getting into that.
All right.
So my whole show is Jesus allegories. So,
I feel like there's a lot of stuff we should say about Heroes, but it doesn't really matter at this point. Let's just get into these shows.
All right. So, Brian, what is your spinoff?
All right. First of all, I just want to make the disclaimer that there are probably going to be continuity errors here, because a lot of stuff happens in this show. There's a lot of people. I think this is the show with like the most main characters that we've done so far, and there's a lot of like intricate storylines. There's gonna be some incorrect things here. Just go with it, just have fun. Don't think too much, just enjoy the ride. So my spinoff is based off a specific episode from season 1. Unfortunately, I am first going to have to plot out that episode for this to make sense.
Great.
So
20 minutes later.
All right. So this episode is from season 1 is entitled 5 Years Gone. Just a synopsis of the episode is Hero and Ando go 5 years into the future and then find that the explosion in New York that they've been trying to prevent has actually happened. So people with abilities are now publicly known and being hunted and detained by the government under orders from President Nathan Petrelli. Past Hero is captured by the government, and Ando and future Hero go to save him with the help of Peter Petrelli. And throughout the episode, we find that Nathan is planning to exterminate the people with abilities by the help of Mahinder Suresh and Matt Parkman, who's the police chief or someone high in the police. And then we also find out that Claire has been hiding out, and Noah is helping hide her and all the other heroes that are seen as not dangerous. He's helping them escape the government. And then Nathan finds Claire, and then you reveal that Nathan is actually Sylar, who is transformed into Nathan, and he kills her. They show him cutting off the top of her head, and she's off screen, but going out of this in like a later season, he does that to her and she's alive. So maybe she's alive, maybe she's dead, maybe that is important to my show, maybe it's not, probably not.
So my show is about an ice cream factory.
And so the episode begins with an epic face-off between Sylar and Peter, as after they've gone to save past Hero, and future Hero is killed. And all this shit's... Oh, before that, Sylar, as Nathan, flies off into the air during a press conference in front of a bunch of people. And then he gets to where Peter is. And right when this epic showdown's about to happen, past Hero and Ando go back in time. So that is the universe that my spinoff is taking place in, the 5 year after the bomb goes off. And so it's going to pick up where that episode left off. The world is now consumed with terror and confusion. People with powers are held captive by the government. So obviously the world is panicked. So this is actually going to follow 3 different storylines. So it's going to kind of be 3 different stories, and each episode is going to focus on that particular story. So it'll be like one episode will be that, the next episode will be a different story, and the third episode will be a different story, and they'll come back. But all of them connect into we'll move on to the major story.
Right.
Storylines it's going to follow is going to be Suresh and Noah are working together to protect the heroes, the people with abilities that are hiding from the government. And then it's also going to follow the other storyline that is Matt Parkman and the police force. And then the third storyline is going to follow is a Guantanamo Bay type island that is holding all the quote unquote dangerous people with abilities. And so and those are going to be the 3 main storylines that my show follows, and more will be given in the pilot episode. But that's the general concept of the show, is just it's in that world, and now it's left with not only what's left after the bomb, but now that people realize that their president, who has been against people with abilities this whole time, had abilities the whole time. So the world's kind of just in a panic.
And what's the name of the show?
No More Heroes.
And the genre?
Half-hour comedy. It'd be a 1-hour drama.
A 15-minute long silent movie.
A Snapchat.
Yeah, a Snapchat experience.
Oh my God, you actually could. You could do just a chronicle of this, but on Snapchat. Oh man, I'm changing my pitch. All right, Shaheer, I hope you have something better than this. So go ahead.
No. All right, so one of the things that I found about Heroes that was really interesting is the genuine, I guess, love of the actress Ali Larter, who played Nikki and Tracy and technically Barbara, the triplets. Nikki Sanders.
Yes.
So that is the original.
Right.
That is the original character she played.
Mm-hmm.
Then they killed her off. Then she was playing a new character named Tracy Strauss. So she's a triplet.
Oh my God, you're right. She played a completely different character.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Oh, I forgot about that.
So you have Nikki Sanders, who had Micah Sanders, her son. That was the storyline with her and her dissociative identity disorder. And then they killed her off and introduced the character of Tracy Strauss, who was working with
Nathan,
yeah. So and then she had so Nikki had superhuman strength, and well, technically Jessica had superhuman strength and Nikki gained it through her disorders and everything. And then Tracy had ice powers, and she was a triplet. There was another one who was never on the show named Barbara, and she had super speed. So what better way to talk about the ridiculousness of that than to introduce more Nikki characters played by Ali Larter.
Yes.
So, all right. So, well, I guess a little backstory. Nikki was killed off in season 2, episode 11. So, my pilot episode takes place after the events of that episode.
You're talking about pilot episode already?
I'm sorry. Plot of my show takes place in correlation to that episode. So, the plot is, after an explosion that was thought to have killed Nikki Sanders, it is revealed that the blast actually split her essence into her personalities, resulting in a full-fledged Jessica and an 8-year-old Gina. The personalities are as old as how long she maintained them in her head. So the story follows Jessica as she raises Gina and attempts to keep her powers in check to atone for all of the horrendous things that she did while she was trapped inside of Nikki, who did die in the fire.
Okay.
I want to see where this goes.
Sorry for anyone who's listening. This is just a clusterfuck of pitches right now.
How was that a clusterfuck?
I mean, you're taking
Eric, you're the judge. Is it a clusterfuck?
No, look, it's all right because you're taking it out of an already clusterfuck of a show.
Yeah.
I feel like your pitch is definitely more original than mine, which is literally just a continuation of Heroes.
I mean, that's fine too.
But yeah, no, I like your idea.
No, you shit on it, and I want to know why.
I'm confused as in one person splits into an adult and a little kid?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, how'd they split though?
The explosion blasted them out of her. So
Okay.
the dissociative identity disorder that she had was actually another superpower.
Is it just gonna be like her as an adult and then like her as an adult just tinier?
No, it's going to be a real child. Ali Larter's not playing the child version of her.
That'd be great. I'm confused by it. This isn't about your show, but this is about just the show in general. But I thought Jessica was her twin
No.
that died.
Jessica
as a
was her
baby.
sister.
Right. So not her twin sister.
No. So each of the three sisters were separated at birth and adopted by families.
Right.
So the family that adopted Nikki also had a daughter itself named Jessica. Jessica was killed when Nikki was young and her father abandoned her. So, but she had no recollection of that. So one of her personalities is Jessica, her sister, but it's not her twin sister. Her twin sisters she never met in life.
It'd make more sense if it was a twin sister.
It would.
Nope. And that's really confusing because in the episode where, well, in the backstory when she confronts her father, it says like she appears as Jessica and she's like, I remember what you did to me, which is weird because it's not her.
Yeah.
It's the persona of her sister that's not her twin sister and not related to her at all.
See, the whole time I thought she was like her twin sister and then died. And that makes more sense if she developed the personality of her dead twin sister.
Nope. It's her adopted sister.
Okay.
Yep.
I feel like someone originally pitched like, okay, they're twins, and someone was like, no, that's dumb, and then later was all right, they're triplets,
adopted triplets,
but not Jessica. Jessica's not part of it.
Jessica has nothing to do with
disconnected. This. At some point in the show, I think they just like started picking ideas out of the hat, and then just went with them.
And this is the idea I picked out the hat.
Triplets.
So not only are there triplets, but now there's another one. and a child version of it. Did I say what it's called?
Nope.
Okay, it's called Unlocked, and it is a sci-fi drama.
Okay.
So you're pilot.
Technically, this isn't even a pilot. Technically, the episode I just described earlier is the backdoor pilot to this episode. The beginning of my pilot episode, it starts with the end of that episode, which is Peter and Siler. They have glowing hands for some reason, but I'm not sure which powers those are. They just have Peter is blue and Siler is red. So let's go with that. So it's them starting to fight, and a voiceover of Peter's voice starts and says, "Time travel, the ultimate do-over. At least that's what I used to think. All those movies and books shows you what happens after the hero corrects a mistake. It doesn't show you what they leave behind." So then it continues with them having their fight. So they're fighting with their glowing hands, and Siler's looking at Peter and goes, "So 5 years and we're at it again," because this was 5 years after the explosion in New York. And goes, "And you haven't learned." And then Peter says something like, "I've learned some things," and all of a sudden creates a force field around them. And then both Siler and Peter at the same time explode, but it's contained in the force field, so they just collapse on the ground, and they're fine because they both heal. And then Siler pauses for a second and kind of looks around and is surprised, and then smiles and says, "You're not the only one's picked up a few things," and then creates a portal that sucks Peter in, and he disappears. So at this point, Matt Parkman was in the other room. He comes out, sees Siler, holds out his gun, because the whole time he did not know that Nathan was Siler. He just thought it was Nathan. Mm-hmm. And then he shoots his gun. Siler stops the bullet and says, "I was wrong to think I was done. I have yet to reach my full potential." And then he just flies out the window, because the whole thing with like him killing off all the people with powers was because he thought that he wanted to be the most powerful. So he figured if he killed everyone off, but kind of realizing that Peter could still be more powerful than him, he realized that he needs to continue his fun old cutting people's heads open and stealing the powers.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then it jumps to a few months later. And it brings you to Matt Parkman is in the police office, and they're arresting someone with powers, a kid, and he has a harmless power. They can't hurt anyone. And it's kind of just him Matt starting to fight with what he's doing, kind of question whether he should be following the orders to collect all the people with powers. So yeah, my whole pilot episode is kind of just going over the different storylines, introducing the characters, showing where they are. So it shows Suresh and Noah meet up. Noah has been through this whole time hiding the people with abilities. So it's so Mahinder, leaving the government, starts helping Noah, and they're finding people and keeping them safe. And then the third storyline is this Guantanamo Bay type area. It's all the prisoners who have powers.
I was going to add, is this Guantanamo Bay style prison level 5 from Heroes? The prison that they were in.
Damn it, that was a thing too.
Yeah.
What? God. Did they say how they contain their powers in that one?
I'm not sure.
I think it was like a special room or something.
Yeah, it does look like they each had like a special room stuff.
Oh, damn. Okay, because my thing was, so in the 5 years thing, I probably should mention that in the plot synopsis, the episode synopsis. But I don't know his real name, but they referred to him as the Haitian.
Yeah.
He gets killed.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, here, you'll be happy, because in my episode, when we go to Guantanamo Bay, no one can use their powers, and it's not explained for a while in the episode, and all of a sudden he shows up like in the prison, and then you realize that there's just like all the guards are him, and he's been cloned, but not like it stops everyone from using their powers.
Oh, sweet. Another clone thing.
Yeah, I had the clone thing too.
Sweet.
So now we can have a crossover of our spin-offs.
I love clones, obviously. Yeah. Wilmer Valderrama had a whole planet of Valderramas.
Shahir's favorite comic book story arc is the clone saga from Spider-Man.
There we go. Valderramania. It is.
Yeah.
I really like that.
Especially when they reboot it.
I mean, Scarlet Spider is one of my favorite characters. He wears a hoodie.
Oh, I guess there's still questions being answered in the pilot. First episode is kind of setting up those areas. Nathan Petrelli, the president, has disappeared. So there's news reports kind of explaining what happened. And he is nowhere to be found. The vice president has taken over and control. And yeah, so we are unaware of, we don't know what's happened to Peter or Siler in this first episode. And then we've introduced these new characters and the old characters who are going to continue this show along. And different things are going to happen. It's going to kind of follow the same twists and turns,
but it's still like in a bleak, confusing future.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's kind of just Heroes. my spin-off to Heroes is Heroes. But it felt like
like my spin-off to Rugrats was Rugrats.
Yeah, I just feel like this kind of fits. Yeah, I'm pretty much just continuing Heroes. I feel like this fits because it takes place in a world where the government and the president is doing shitty things to its people, and I think you can make some connections from that to today.
Are you saying Donald Trump could just wipe out all his makeup and he's Mexican underneath all that?
It's just been Carlos Mencia the whole time.
He has been known to plagiarize people.
So. Anyway. So, what's your pilot like, Shaheer?
What's your pilot like?
I just want the gist. I don't want the actual plot. Is it more of a fall? Is it more of an autumn? I realize fall and autumn are the same
thing. It's a winter. So it is a 30-minute long drama as opposed to an hour-long drama. And so the first episode picks up inside of the explosion, where Nikki was unable to save herself. So it shows you the events of the explosion, and it shows you that when the explosion hits, it catapults her body, and when it hits, the shock that it exudes pushes out two more things, like shoots onomatopoeia. It shoots them into space, and they get out of the blast radius. They come to a little bit after that, and they're slightly okay. Jessica has a pretty bad burn on her right arm, and she gets up confused and disoriented. She walks over and sees Nikki's charred body, and she's shocked because it looks just like her, and she's realizing that not only does she have control over Nikki, but she has her own body. This is her, and that is Nikki on the floor that has died. And after that, she hears crying, and then she looks and tries to find somebody else and notices that it is a little girl who is in the corner and huddled over. And she picks her up and she asks her name, and she tells her it's Gina. And that's when they realize what happened is that her dissociative identities have been pushed out of her body, and she has passed away, but they are able to live on. The episode continues with her leaving the building and trying to, gain some semblance. It's kind of like Pursuit of Happiness style banter with her and the child, but because they are personalities of Nikki, she still has the full mind of Nikki, but she's a little girl because
is she just cussing out everyone?
No, she's not cussing out. Well, I mean, it's an NBC show, so.
Oh, so it's on NBC.
Yeah. So she's not cussing, but
just be bleeped out.
Yes. Yeah. No. I mean, and even like the regular Nikki wasn't like cussing everybody out. So.
I mean, Jessica.
Wait, since they came out of her, do they?
Oh, fine.
I have a question. Do they share all her memories and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
Memories.
Oh my
all
God.
alone in the moon. I have to fit 5 songs into this episode.
Okay. So we're just gonna cut to the song in its entirety as soon as you transition to it. Okay. So yeah. So she takes the daughter out to a diner, and they're just talking and everything, and then the girl says something very sexual to Jessica, and she's like, well, why would you say that? And everything. And she has to explain that, she's a girl, and she's a little girl, and she needs to act like it rather than acting like an adult. And she's just really upset because she ended up in a child's body as opposed to being a full-fledged human like Jessica is. I said full-fledged human like children aren't humans. Like a full adult like Jessica is. So that's part of the dynamic, is her just being upset because they have the same intellect but just different bodies. And
okay, that sounds like that could be fun. Some fun adventures happening there. Yeah. Sorry, was that your whole pilot?
No, then Jessica goes to the bathroom and she sees Nikki in the mirror. Dun, 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 dun. No, that doesn't happen. Nikki's dead.
It does now, damn it.
No, Nikki's dead.
No. Then the little girl version goes in the bathroom.
Wait. Do they establish or at some point know what Gina's power is?
Who?
Gina.
Oh no, she doesn't have a power.
Oh.
Yeah. Not yet, at least not in the pilot.
Okay.
She will though, because it's Heroes. Everyone has powers. Even Ando got power eventually. Yeah, that later episode kind of ruined. The later season just gave everyone powers. Yep.
You get a power.
Ando
you get a power. You get a power. Hey, you want this gene altering fucking?
Wait, I want to know one thing. How did the hero's best friend get a power?
Because of the serum that they made that gave people powers that was then just destroyed, and that concept was thrown away.
That was stupid.
Yeah.
There's so many stupid premises.
It was, you guys, you don't remember? Oprah came onto the episode and she was like, if you look under your chairs, you have powers!
powers, and you get a power, and you get a power, and you get a power. Everybody gets a power.
Everybody just started applauding.
And you say you watched Heroes.
Yeah.
No, I just forgot though, because I remember how Suresh got his, but I didn't think it was the same way because I thought he got it a different way.
Nope.
Well, he injected the first, he created the original formula and injected to himself, and he became like a weird Spider-Man, but was like needing to eat people in order to stay alive.
Then he just became normal, and then just like.
And then Claire was the catalyst or some shit that made no sense. So that they got her and they like made the serum. Like, I'm trying not to shit on Heroes because I loved it.
It's okay, man.
After the second
I loved it until I hated it.
It's been dead for 8 years. You can shit on
Did you
it.
say a year?
Dead 8 years.
Oh.
All right, wait. Did you finish your pilot?
Nope. Oh wait, you finished your pilot, right?
No, she does go in the bathroom and she tries to see if she could get Nikki to appear, but she doesn't. She is gone forever.
Does she have to say it 3 times like Candyman?
Yes.
But then Candyman actually showed up.
Candyman comes up.
I didn't want you, damn it! Oh, my bad.
She goes to the bathroom, and then she comes back out, and the store is being held up, and she has to decide if she's going to be a hero or let it pass. And that's how the episode ends.
All right. So, you said yours is going to be on NBC?
Yes.
Okay. Mine's going to be...
It's going to be a Snapchat experience on NBC.
Wait, what was Reborn on?
Huh?
Was Reborn the same?
NBC. Yeah. NBC kept it. Mine's going to be on Yahoo Stream.
Where all the shows
So it
are.
just doesn't exist.
Yep.
Okay.
I feel like I made that joke before, but all my shows are
Yahoo
inevitably going to be on Yahoo Stream.
Yes.
Um,
So wait, is your show really on Yahoo Stream? Are you relaunching Yahoo Stream?
yeah, it's on Yahoo Stream right now.
Okay.
I'm
bet.
a real content creator on Yahoo Stream. There is no way to either confirm or deny that.
Let's find out.
And I don't know. This could be on.
Yeah, I know. This is a
Freeform?
show.
Put it on Freeform.
No, this one get free.
It's on Ion.
This might get sci-fi. I feel like the Heroes brand is so tainted that NBC wouldn't really want this because it's literally just Heroes in a different kind of way. So I feel like sci-fi would pick it up. Nothing against sci-fi. They have wonderful programming, I'm sure. It's they have the Magicians, right? That seemed cool.
All right, so it's on Sci-Fi.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
How long do you think my show's gonna last?
This is something that we never asked before, but who's producing it?
Oh my god, we've never asked that.
Yeah. The only reason I asked that is because Heroes Reborn just came and went. So I feel like if it has the same production team on it, it probably will also come and go.
Yeah.
But then again, it's on Sci-Fi. So 3 seasons.
Sweet.
And how long do you think mine will last?
Forever on Snapchat.
It's a Snapchat experience.
Well, until Snapchat, goes under. Give it.
Well,
It'll last for 30 seconds every week.
I'm giving Snapchat, mark my words, 7 months and 3 weeks.
Till it stops
eerie if
existing.
Snapchat goes away in 7 months and 3 weeks.
7 months and 3 weeks.
What is going to happen to it?
Recording or release?
From the time this episode airs, 7 months. And I can't give. Actually, I probably could give a date this podcast coming out. I don't know. Whatever. It's a Thursday, I think. Check your calendar. 7 months and 3 weeks is. I said 7 months, 3 weeks.
The only way I see that going that way is there's just a barrage of people just putting up the dick pics on there.
I mean,
and they said
that's
stop doing it.
literally what Snapchat is.
And boobs.
Dick picopolis.
At this moment,
All
the
right.
boobs and dicks are weighing each other out.
Gotta love the boobs and dicks.
If there's a surplus of dicks, nobody will ever go on.
Yes, so 7 months and 3 weeks is how long I give Snapchat.
Wait, is it show or Snapchat?
So let's see. I play one episode 15 seconds every day. So So let's see. Let's do the math on that. All right. So 4 days is 1 minute. So what's that? 4 days is 1 minute. So I need to get 30 minutes. So
For a full episode?
times 30 is 120 days.
I don't know why
So-
you're looking at me like I know math.
So 120 days is one episode. So 120 days is one episode. You said 7 months. That
And 3
is,
weeks.
huh?
and 3
In 3
weeks.
weeks. Okay, so
You're basically just gonna have 2 episodes.
yeah, so yeah, 120 days is 4 months. So I have 2 episodes. Cool.
Hey, you made it past your pilot.
Snapchat experience.
All right, Eric. Now is your time to.
We
Sing.
one episode every 4 months on NBC.
Oh my god! Commercial in between.
The commercials just say, tune in 4 months for the full picture. And no reruns. No reruns at all. So you just have to watch 15-second increments. And if you miss the other ones, you are confused. You just have to understand.
But they still play the same commercial that says "Save the cheerleader, save the world" over and over again.
There's never a
There's no
cheerleader in the show.
All right, Eric. Now is the time of the show where you tell us all that you liked Shaheer's pitch better.
Actually, I like yours.
Hey, fuck you. All right, so
You
Eric's
mean it?
canceled. We're taking all of Eric's
No,
shit off of.
All right, so I take
Why
back.
do you like his generic ass? This is where me and Brian lose our friendship, because now I'm gonna shit on his instead of genuinely supporting it because I want to win. Why do you like his heroes that is just heroes?
Yours is intriguing, but there wasn't too
Yeah, but
much
his is
here.
heroes.
But there's not much to your pilot.
All right, it's a pilot.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
So rather than my subdued pilot that shows nuance and dramatic depth, you would rather his pilot that has
Because
3
it's on
story
brand
arcs.
with heroes.
I like.
No.
People who would want to watch it are people who expect something
Boo.
similar to like that of heroes.
I say boo.
I like
sir.
that I was shitting on my own concept until Eric said that he liked it, and I'm just like, yeah, it is the shit.
No, it's not.
Well,
it's a
thank you,
stinkier
Eric.
shit. Yours doesn't make that much stink.
Mine isn't shit. Mine is dope.
You are now a little higher on my favorite guest list than you were originally.
You're not even a guest anymore. In my head, I took you out of the episode. I mean, you didn't contribute much. I can take you out. Yeah.
No, I edit, so it's the whole episode is going to be Eric saying, I like Brian.
Yeah, but I upload, so I can change the edit.
You're
To be
revealing all of our
honest-
behind-the-scenes secrets.
Yes.
Throughout the run of the series, they had a lot of different partnerships of
Hey, you
just
shut the fuck up.
putting heroes
No
together. You
more
could
speak.
get a lot
You
of
shut up.
you could get a lot of
don't
spin-offs.
want to hear your voice anymore, Eric. You have destroyed my life. I am going to stab you.
Oh my God, Shaheer just stabbed Eric. If anyone from the police is listening, there has been a murder.
Can I get your
Eric.
autograph? I love your band.
Sting, if you're listening, please. Eric's dying wishes for an autograph.
So our guest judge today, Eric, voted for my show. Oh shit, what do I call it? I called it Heroes. No More Heroes, I think.
Yes, no
Yeah.
more heroes.
No More Heroes, which
You want to fucking watch No More Heroes? That's what you want to watch?
I'm kind of surprised that he picked mine as well. I wouldn't have.
I'm not even surprised. I knew I shouldn't expect much from Eric as a guest host, as
Or a
a guest
person.
judge, as a person in
As a
general.
guest person.
Yes, as a guest person.
All right. So now's your turn to vote. listeners, if we still have any at this point of the episode. It's like, oh man, I really like that Eric guy.
He's
Kind of feel bad for him
berated
now.
for a long time now.
I don't know why our listeners have
Can
that
this
accent.
joke please stop?
You guys are being really mean to that Eric guy.
Yeah, we like Eric a little bit.
All right. So you can go to www.tangentcreates/spinoff. Go to www.tangentcreates.com/spinoff. And there the episodes will be, and you can vote for your favorite pitch. We're also on iTunes. So go to iTunes, search Spinoff. It's the one with faces on it.
It looks similar to a movie.
What movie?
Movie that exists.
Movie.
I don't want to
Goofy
say.
movie.
I don't want to say because I don't want the creator of the poster to listen to this podcast and sue us.
Oh, you're right. Okay. So if anyone who worked on the Goofy movie poster is listening to this,
please don't sue us.
don't sue us. Anyone else who made a movie poster can sue us, just
Like-
not the Goofy movie.
An extremely goofy movie? Go ahead. and sue us.
Yeah. We definitely ripped off your poster.
But goofy movie? No. Please don't.
So we're on iTunes also. You can, leave a comment, give us stars, preferably 5 stars. If you give us less, that's kind of a dick move, but I can't argue with your opinion.
Okay, so please subscribe.
Yeah,
If you haven't
subscribe. We are planning on getting these out every Thursday. So on Thursday, you have our voices to look forward to.
That once again, I don't know why, but
Yeah, I don't
thanks
know.
for the support.
I don't know what's happened in your life to bring you to this point, but we appreciate it.
Okay, so recapping, the choices that you have to vote for are No More Heroes by Brian France and Unlocked by myself, Shaheer Lanier, aka The Right Decision, because Eric voted for No More Heroes because he is a little poopy head.
That might have been the most hurtful thing you said.
Yeah, you should also vote for Shaheer's.
I'm coercing all of these statements now.
Eric's head is pretty poopy, I must say. I appreciate his
You should have
support
looked
for my
fine this
episode.
way.
It's a lot of poop, man.
There is
It's a lot of poop.
All I see is poop.
This episode brought to you by poop.
Can I just say this has been the best podcast I've ever been on?
Oh, that's
Aw,
great because
that's
you've
so
only
nice
been on
to
this
hear, you
one.
sack of shit.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for listening, as always. We appreciate it.
It's been great.
Once again, I'm Brian,
I'm Shaheer.
Apparently I'm poop head.
and this is
Spin off.
Off. Spin off. Podcast.